in my element, back in my element. I'm in my element, back in my element. I'm in my. This is easy as a layup.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my also partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper. Let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. All right. And as always, want to make sure that we're taking massive action. Action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for the outcome, centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trust in your education, strategy, trade skills, and intuition. Obeying your trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So if everybody can hear me okay, drop me a one in the chat and we can get rocking. All right, beautiful. Appreciate it. So let's hop over to trading economics really quickly. Take a look at things. I wasn't watching the charts last night during the presidential debate, but it was an interesting couple hours. So we will see how the charts are impacted over time. Excuse me, with the election coming up here in the United States. All right, let's go. So the British economy stalled once again in July 2024, mirroring June's performance and below forecast of a 0.2% increase. Services output grew modestly, offsetting falls in manufacturing and construction. Considering the 3 months to July, the GDP expanded 0.5% below the 0.6% in the previous period and the forecast of 0.6%. So we got slowdowns coming in the UK. Okay. Economy slowing. We have the Nikkei 225 fell 1.49% to close at 35,620, while the broader topics index dropped 1.78 to 2531, extending losses from the previous session following hawkish statements from Bank of Japan policymaker. BOJ board member Junko Nakagawa said that the central bank will continue raising interest rates if the economy and inflation moves in line with the forecast. The yen climbed toward year-to-date highs following her remarks, putting more downward pressure on domestic equities. On the economic front, manufacturing sentiment in Japan declined to a 7-month low in September, amid concerns about soft Chinese demand. Right, we understand what's happening there in China. Notable losses were seen from index heavyweights such as Disco Corp, Advantest, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, Toyota Motors, and Fast Retailing. So again, right, we got some strengthening of the yen and looking at the JP 225, right? You see breakdown, we pulled back and retested previous support that we broke through, right? And now we're headed back down to the downside. So we'll watch and see how things continue to evolve throughout the week as we get closer and closer to Bank of Japan rate statement next week. All right. So that is Japan, US inflation. Annual inflation rate in the US likely slowed for a fifth consecutive month. We'll see today to 2.6% in August, which would be the lowest since March 2021, from 2.9 in July, compared to previous month. CPI is projected to increase 0.2%, the same as July. Gas prices are anticipated to decline, while rent, car insurance could show signs of slowing. Uh, Core inflation is seen steady at over a 3-year low, 3.2. The monthly core inflation rate is also anticipated to remain at 0.2, right? So starting to see inflation continue to move into alignment, which would then lead toward um, potentially leaning on the side of larger rate increases. There's a conversation happening around the potential for inflation to fall below the Fed's 2% range, 2 to 3% range. Um, and that's the camp that's saying the Fed is behind the eight ball on cutting rates. Um, and so that then leads to the conversation of more jumbo rates anticipated um, opposed to a modest or regular kind of 25 basis point cut. So we shall see how things continue to transpire. We'll see what Jerome Powell's words are next week, um, and what the Fed ultimately decides to do. But that is conversation in the background. So we'll see how things continue to move. Dollar index fell below 101.5 on Wednesday, pairing recent gains as investors react to the first and only debate between U.S. presidential hopefuls Kamala Harris and Donald Trump before November election. Analysts suggest that chances for a Harris presidency rose slightly, putting pressure on the dollar, which has been supported by expectations of more tariffs and increased fiscal spending under Donald Trump's presidency. Right? That statement is key, right? More fiscal spending could also then lead to more inflation. Um, Markets are also geared up for the August consumer inflation report, which could help determine the scale of an expected interest rate cut from the Fed. Fed officials indicate readiness to start dialing back restrictive policy, with Fed Governor Christopher Waller saying he'd be open to a substantial reduction if necessary. Markets are currently assigned a 66% chance of a 25 basis point cut and a 34% chance of a larger 50 basis point reduction, according to CME. So we shall see. We shall see where things go, right? And how the data continues to come out and evolve. All right. Then we got Brent crude. Brent crude oil futures rose around $70 a barrel on Wednesday, rebounding from its lowest level since December, supported by fears of supply disruption from the Gulf storm. Francine has strengthened to a Category 1 hurricane in the western Gulf of Mexico and is expected to intensify further, making landfall in Louisiana, posing a threat to refinery operations in the Gulf Coast. Additionally, API data showed that U.S. crude stocks unexpectedly fell by 2.79 million barrels, defying market forecasts of a 0.7% rise. However, a bearish tone remained in the market as weak demand outlook weighed on the sentiment. The EIA cut its oil price estimates for the fourth quarter and 2025, following OPEC's second consecutive monthly reduction in demand projections. Moreover, there are ongoing worries about softening demand from top oil markets, particularly China, which we talked about yesterday, as consumption has been strained by the higher use of electric vehicles. All right. So that's the overall look there. Over to the calendar. There's your GDP data, right? And this is what we're looking forward to today at 8:30. CPI, see where things fall, and see if it's in line with the estimate or it's a little bit lower than the estimate. Seeing if that changes then the narrative from Fed officials. All right, and we also have crude oil inventories at 10:30. All right. Benny, good morning, bro.
Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. A little tired, up late watching the debate last night, but I'm all good.
Yeah, man. Talk to me about your thoughts.
Oh, she demolished him last night. He did. What is he? You know, it was a bad outing from a man. It's what we used to say in sports. The other team didn't really get off the bus when they showed up at the stadium. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty bad. It'd be interesting to see if they have a second debate. If I'm in her camp, I don't do it. I leave it where it is.
leave it where it is.
But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, yeah. So
Sure.
I think at this point, I think at this point though, like people are already locked in who they're gonna vote for. You know,
Yeah, I think so too.
historically debates really don't have that great of an impact on, people changing their minds. So if you're in his camp, a lot of people are locked in, that have been in his camp, and if you plan to vote for her, that's what you're gonna do. But last night, I mean, all the polls and all the data is showing that she won a debate. So
Yeah, sure.
it is what it is, brother. I'm focused
Yeah,
on everything that you covered this morning, especially that CPI day ahead of the rate cuts that's coming for the Fed. So.
yeah, yeah. Anything else you've seen in your perusing this morning?
No, man, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that was it because everything is besides the key data that you covered, everything else this morning was really kind of tied into what happened with the debate last night.
Yeah,
Even on the financial, in the financial publications, a lot of fact checking and what this means and what that means, and so that's it. But I'm still keeping focused on that data today coming from the U.S. side with the CPI. Then we got the PPI later. What's that tomorrow? I think
tomorrow.
uh,
Yeah,
tomorrow. Because that's data that can impact the Fed's decision on how much they're going to cut by. So that's it.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, cool deal, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yep. Appreciate you.
Team. No doubt. Team, do you guys have anything from a fundamental perspective you want to put on the table or questions? No? 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 All right. Cool deal. Let's hop over to the charts and let's take a look at the dollar, right? Which we read fell. Boom. Um, bit of a retracement. Okay. Stochastic back in the buy zone. Is this just a pullback for a continuation to the upside, right? This is a zone I discussed yesterday that just have my eyes on to see how price continues to move and respond in this area. We already touched it once. Let's see if we push back into that zone, get to that 382 from this 80-20. Um, Actually, you might be right on that. Deep crown pattern here. I see it. I see it. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. So let's see if we get price to turn back over and make its way, continue making its way to the upside. Okay. Um, we'll watch the data, right? Data tomorrow will be telling, or could be telling in one direction or the other, right? So we'll watch and see, right? But a pullback yesterday, come back to the daily. See, a stochastic is out of that sell zone right in the middle. So we'll see how price continues to evolve throughout the day today. Okay. Um, but a slight pullback nonetheless, and we'll see if we get another move to the upside. Okay, so that is the DXY. Dollar yen continue to push to the downside. Okay, broke that previous daily support level. Come back to the daily here. All right, continue to press down. All right, with hawkish statements coming out of Japan. We'll see if we're still able to potentially close above that daily support level. We got a stochastic pushing into the buy zone here. So I'm watching to see how the market responds here at this 142 level. Okay. We know what Japan is going to do as far as continuing to increase rates. It'll be just how much over what period of time. Um, but let's see what happens here at this 142 level, right? Do we close below and break it and continue to move to the downside, or do we hold and give a bit of a retracement? So we'll continue to watch that dollar yen from that perspective to see what happens. Okay, but to see the push there, you see the break of that level on the 4-hour fib, right? Swing high, and we've been down ever since. Do we continue to move down is the question here. Okay, so we'll watch and see how things evolve on this dollar yen. So not a ton doing there. The dollar CAD. Any questions on the dollar yen? That was a quick move on it, but no questions. Okay. Um, dollar CAD. Making our way back to the upside. We broke this level. We broke this, it was previous support. I was looking to see if it held as resistance, and we did not. We broke above. Okay. So now, right? So 786 retracement, moving back to the upside. Broke a key level here. Do we get a retest and a continuation to the upside? Okay. I was looking to see if price stayed below that level, and it did not. We do have a stochastic in the sell zone right now, so we'll also keep an eye on the selling pressure there. Coming down to the 4, you see the nice cloud break, strong bullish push, and then a strong bullish push above that previous support level. Let's see if it holds as resistance and then gives us another push to the upside in continuation. Okay. So looking long on this dollar CAD. And as we come down to the 1, all right, you see the cloud break, and now we're on the go. All right. So I'll deploy my fibs here on the 1 hour to the upside. And we'll track from here. Okay. So let's watch and see. Oops. What we got going on? There we go. We'll track from here. Okay. We do have an 80-20 scenario here, but do we break back below this level? All right. So that's what we're watching there. See the cloud also moving sideways, showing forms of support ahead. So we'll watch this to see how price moves at this level, right? We get a hold there, swing low to form. We'll look for price to continue to push to the upside on this dollar CAD. Questions on the dollar CAD? And then the dollar Swissy. So across the board, it looked like this morning that the Swissy was starting to give back a little bit. So as dollar Swiss pushed down to that daily support, right? This was last week. We got a nice doji candle, reversal up, right? We pulled back, and now we got another reaction. Looks like pin bar to the upside. So, do we get price to continue to track long here? All right. So, does that? We got the swing low to form there on the daily, two candles to the right. Now, do we get? Do we get a continuation to the upside? Um, do we get a continuation to the upside? Okay. So we come down to the 4. This is where we are. Okay. This is where we are. If I run a sub fib off of the low, right, we got a nice retracement here. And now we're trying to push back long. Okay, so let's see if we can break the cloud in a bullish way and continue that move to the upside. Then down on U1, all right, you see just that consolidation, price moving across the screen along with the cloud. So see if we can get a continuation to the upside here after that swing low on the daily. All right, so looking more bullish here, but that's also ahead of data. So we'll see where the data pushes price. Okay, so that's the dollar Swiss. Questions here? No?
Nope.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool deal. All right, so that's dollars on that side. I want to take a look at this Aussie NZD. We looked at it yesterday, right? And we're starting to get that swing. Okay. Uh, Pushing bullish. So this could give us that swing low that we're looking for on the daily time frame off this 8-6 retracement. Pushing long. On the 4, we got that push down that we're looking for yesterday, 618 retracement, and now we're reversing and pushing to the upside. Okay, so see if we can get some follow through here and a continuation, at least in the shorter term. 109.30, take profit level off this 4-hour sub fib off the low. Okay, down on the 1, all right, and this is what that looked like, 618 retracement. And then we got the takeoff to the upside. We're now getting a cloud break above that previous daily level. All right. So we're long on this Aussie New Zealand. All right. It gave us exactly what we're looking for. And now we're pushing to the upside. Let's see if we can get some continuation here. All right. 38 pips off the low. And looking for more bullish movement there. Okay. I don't know if anybody took this trade, but it is moving. Okay, so that's the Aussie New Zealand. Oh, that's cool. That's the Aussie New Zealand. Moving to the upside. Questions here, right? We potentially got a ways to go if we continue to see upward traction there off that daily time frame. Oh, all right, cool deal. Cat Swiss from a daily time frame perspective. And this is where we're sitting on the Cat Swiss. I ran the fib off the low. All right, stochastic. Not it's right in the middle, not in the buy zone, not in the sell zone, but we've got this nice retracement, 50% retracement here. I gotta look to see, Ben, do you know what's going on with the Swissy right now? if anything?
I do. I mean, I do not. I mean, the markets, the looking at the markets, right? Looking like especially coming today, a bit of risk on, but
Yeah,
other than that, I have to look it up.
gotcha. Cool deal. Um, but trying to take back some of this move to the downside. So watching to see here if we get price to continue moving long, right? If we stay in that more of a risk on sentiment, right? And looking to see if we get a move to the upside here. Okay. Coming down to the 4, got a nice deep retracement, 618 level. And here's that start of a potential move to the upside. Okay. So I'm watching to see if we can get continuation here for a move at least back to the 63,678, right? But even then potentially to 64,095, right? And then we'll look at things and see how things see where things go from there. Okay. Um, and then here on the 1, this is where we sit. Not quite a double bottom there. But if we do continue this to the upside, we have the potential for a cowardly pattern if we get that extension of the move long. Okay. Um, here. All right. So looking to see if we get a cloud break and a swing low on the daily to form. If we do, give an opportunity for continuation to the upside there. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at on the CAD Swiss. Potential move to the upside. And like Benny said, got to look to see what's happening, if there's anything happening with the Swissy. But in more of a risk on sentiment right now. But do we get a continuation of that is the question that I have in looking at these, and then just looking at all of the Swiss crosses. All of them have similar movements happening. All right. So that's why I am on the CAD Swiss. Any questions on this?
Nope.
All right, cool. Um, CAD yen, kind of similar, right? Had this nice strong move to the upside, and then we got this retracement sitting at a 618 level off this fib off the low. Okay. Came into this daily support level, and we got a strong reaction. So now stochastic in the buy zone. So my question on really all of the cat pairs, I'm sorry, yen pairs, yen crosses is, do we see retracements come, right? We got the verbal confirmation from Bank of Japan members, right? Looking to continue with increases. But do we get a retracement ahead of that decision next week? Right. So watching this to see if we get a swing low to form here in the zone. Okay. Uh, coming down to the 4, we push down to the D extension there. And that took out that A. So watching to see how things transpire. Nothing doing just yet, but just watching the overall movement here to see if we do get development of a retracement before and to give us a high price before we get back short. Okay, so just watching that one from that perspective and see how things transpire. The yen, similar to the Swissies, are all in similar scenarios as well. So we'll see how things transpire on the CAD yen. Um, Euros. Euro CAD. I think we touched on this one yesterday. Um, but moving back long, right? Daily support, got to push back to the upside, pulled back a bit. Now let's see if we potentially continue moving long in the short term. Okay, we're ahead of that rate statement tomorrow. This is also a swing high, right? So we could potentially get range bound, range bound a bit. So we'll see what happens with the rate statement from the ECB. Okay. But we got a stochastic pushing into the buy zone. So we'll see as we approach this 155.055 level, where price stands there. Okay. Coming down to the 4, moving down, right? But came back to the level and staying below the cloud, at least broke above, but kind of indecision at the cloud there. Okay, so watching this to see how price moves. And then we get down to the 1, and you see we got a nice deep retracement here, started to move down and then pulled back. So battling for some direction here. Okay. So we'll see if we get some confirmation tomorrow. See if we get some confirmation tomorrow in one direction or the other. Okay. So that's where we are with this Euro CAD bouncing back and forth in this little wedge here. Okay. Questions on the Euro CAD?
No questions.
All right. Euro Swiss. Right. Similar look to that CAD Swiss. Right. From a daily time frame perspective, stochastic pushing back down. We'll see if we get back down into that buy zone, but we had a nice strong move to the upside and a pullback. Okay, so looking to see where price goes from here. Okay, sitting at a 618 retracement on that sub fib to the upside. So looking to see where price goes, right? And if we get a catalyst to push price to the upside here against the Swissy. 4, deep retracement, 8-6 level, push, right? Do we stall at this previous support level or do we continue that move to the upside? Okay, so looking to see that beautiful 80-20 down. Now do we get a move back up? On the 1, got a similar story. Okay, deep retracement. 7-8-6 level. 7-8-6 level. And we got to push. So are we able to break the cloud and do we get a continuation to the upside here on this Euro Swiss? Okay, looking for some additional confirmation there of that potential move long. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at on the Euro Swiss. See if we get trend line break, cloud break, some additional confirmation of the move long. Questions on the Euro Swissy?
No.
Euro GBP bouncing back and forth, but trying to make its way to the upside. Okay. Nice swing low off the low. Caught in some indecision here. We're trying to get bullish now. Okay. We got a stochastic that's in the sell zone at the moment. But see if we're able to break this resistance level and give us a continuation to the upside. Okay. Come down to the 4, we have this 80-20 scenario. And that's what that consolidation looks like, right? Just pretty much move sideways through those trend lines. So we need to break above this 84,461 level to get that continuation to the upside there, right? So I'll remove these and we'll just look to see if we get that breakout to the upside. Okay, but just sitting here looking for what'll be the catalyst to move it long. Okay. So that's the 80-20 on the Euro GBP. Excuse me. On the Euro GBP. Looking for continuation to the upside there. Okay. There we go. Trying to get a cloud break here. Got a break, but we got some indecision. So see if we're able to get a bullish move to the upside there. Okay. Questions on the Euro GBP, right? I'm watching this from a 4-hour perspective here. No?
No.
Okay. This Euro Yen. Been in this move to the downside, right? Strong move. Again, how does the market respond in the short term? Understanding what the Bank of Japan is looking to do over the long term, right? And so this is where we are on the daily time frame, stochastic in the buy zone. Okay, got an 8-6 retracement, got a nice pushback down, not quite a double bottom, but where does the market go from here? Okay, where does the market go from here? Do we get a move back to the upside before we get back short? Don't. 4. That the extension was achieved. So we'll run a fib off the high there. And that's where we are on the 4 on this Euro Yen. Okay. If we track the sub fib off the low, that moved down, took out the A there. Okay. So watching to see how the market takes the Euro news tomorrow, but also how we respond to the Bank of Japan as well. All right. Down on the 1, fresh AB boundary, we're starting to get a retracement here now. All right. So do we continue this move to the upside from here, or do we get another push to the downside and then a retracement out of that 80-20 zone? Okay. So watching that one from that perspective on this Euro JPY. Okay. Euro dollar. Came into that support level and we're getting that push back to the upside. All right. So do we get a swing low to form here on the daily stochastic in the buy zone? Okay. Pushing long right now. Coming down to the 4, just shy of a 50% retracement out of this 80-20 to the downside, right? Is this the area that we get our reversal? Strong bullish move. Do we get a continuation here? Okay. I'm down on the 1. We haven't gotten a cloud break just yet, but we are sitting just pushed out of a 618 retracement. All right, so 80-20 move to the downside, 618 retracement. Do we get this reversal and that move to the upside on this Euro dollar? All right, so looking for a C to D move here potentially. CPI data, rate decision, PPI data, right? Potentially give us the catalyst in one direction or the other here. right? So keep my eyes on this one closely to see if we get some additional confirmation of a move long, right? Of a move long here. So that's what I'm looking at on this euro dollar C to D move. Questions on the euro dollar?
Nope.
Nope.
No? All right. All right. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Let's see what's happening here. There we go. Okay. So CDD move on the euro dollar. And those are the euros, right? Ahead of that rate statement tomorrow. Let's look at this pound yen. Similar to the others, right? Moving down. Moving down. Stochastic in the buy zone, 618 retracement. Okay. Where does the market take us in the short term? Okay, so I'm watching all these yen crosses from a similar perspective. Um, Overall short, but do we get a high price to then get short? So, or to add to that position to the downside. So, watching to see how price moves here. Okay. With stochastic in the buy zone there. So coming down to the 4, right? Deep retracement, 786 level. Do we get a move back to 193? Okay. Then on your 1, we took out the A on this move down. 80-20 here on the 1. Okay. So do we get a nice reversal here back to the upside? Okay. So that's where we are on the pound yen, 80-20, looking for a move to the upside, at least in the short term. Okay. Questions on the pound yen?
No.
No. All right. And let's see, what else do I have? Benny, you got any pairs you got your eyes on, bro? Those are the ones that are on my radar.
No, man. Just keeping a close eye on the stock market and some of the ETFs and things like that we're trading. Because they're looking like they're starting to put the lows in on the higher time frames, which could be setting us up for a potential rally again. So just keeping a close eye on that yet. Not ready quite to add to positions or pull the trigger, but watching it closely ahead of these rate statements.
Gotcha. Here we are on NVIDIA. Strong move to the downside, right? Pushed a little deeper on that move, right? We can see if we get that crown pattern to form. If we got some indecision right now, stochastic in the buy zone, do we get that swing low to form? All right. Do we get that swing low to form? And do we get that move? Do we get that move long? Okay. So that's the daily coming down to the 4. So what that looks like, all right? 8-6 retracement. Are we ready to make that move back to the upside here and get back into the mid $100 range? Okay. Boom. All right. Are we ready to make that reversal in that move long? Check that out. All right. Whoops. And then down on our one, there was that beautiful 80-20. Gave us a nice deep retracement, V-type reversal, pull back. See if we get a continuation long. All right. So long opportunity on NVIDIA. We'll see if that daily low gets put in to Ben's point. This isn't one of the ETFs, but one of the stocks that we've been watching. Okay. SCHD. Somebody about to say something?
If you look at well, after you look at that SCHD, the IWF, that the iShares Russell 2000 ETF,
Oh, yep.
is trying to put on the low on the daily, potential crown.
Perfect. Okay. SHD, stochastic in the buy zone, 50% retracement. Do we get that swing low there? All right. Do we get that swing low to form there? And do we continue that move to the upside? Down on the 4, right? Deep retracement, 8-6 level. And we're trying to go long, right? Coming out of the buy zone here on the 4, trying to continue that move to the upside. That's our larger fib coming off the lows here, right? Trying to make our way to this matching D extension of 86.79, right? These are sub fibs coming off of the C, right? So do we get that swing low to form on the daily? That continuation push to the upside to get us into that 86, $87 range. Okay. Boom. So that's on the 4. And then your 1. There you go. 786 retracement. Crown pattern on the reversal. Boom. Continuation long. All right. SCHD, any questions here? Benny, then that asked what platform are you trading ETFs on? Darwin.
Yep, Darwin.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And then IWM.
I was looking at the which one? Which one?
The Russell 2000.
The Russell 1000s, the IWF
IWF.
ETF. Yep, it's the IWF. It's the one that I'm looking at on the charts on that daily chart.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Stochastic buy zone. Don't
Yeah,
have
we
this
got
one marked up fully, but
possible bull crown there, and it's forming a low.
do some quick markups, daily resistance. We get the swing low to form there. Here's that crown pattern. See it a little bit better on the 4. Or see that right tip. Boom. Stochastic in the buy zone, we're pushing north. All right. On the 4. There's that crown pattern. We'll get that continuation long. All right. And then on your 1, 80-20, 382. Retest that support level. All right. See if we get that rise. See if we get that rise. Great work, bro. Love it. Love it.
Appreciate it.
Questions on the Russell 1000. Yeah, drop some sevens for Benny. Right? You got these ETFs. Bring them to the table. Giving us these opportunities to continue to diversify, build portfolios on the stock and ETF side of things, along with trading the currencies. Love it.
Did you use the MT5 for that too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yep. And it's in the same, you don't have to get a different package or anything like that. You can trade these just the same, with the same package as the currencies.
Yep. But just note too, Ryan, like what we were discussing yesterday.
Yeah.
But in regards to the leverage, right? It varies.
Yes. The leverage on
ETFs, I think, was 1 to 5.
1 to 5. ETFs on ETFs are leverage on ETFs are 1 to 5. Leverage on indices and commodities is 20 to 1.
I believe, yes. And then 30 to
Right.
1 on
And
Forex.
then 30 to 1 on your Forex currencies. Yeah. So it does vary on the leverage side of things. So just be aware of that as you're trading those. I have a separate account that I'm trading the ETFs and the stocks in. The stocks and ETFs are the 1 to 5. So I have a separate Darwin account that I'm trading those and separate from my currencies, just to keep them separate and build that stock and ETF portfolio from that perspective. So something to think about as you're going through your process there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. All right. Any other questions before we wrap it up for the morning? No? Benny, any final thoughts, bro?
No, sir. Great session. Hey, just know we've got major data coming out today at 8:30, right? Core CPI, month over month, year over year. Right. That's key data as we're just ahead of the Fed rate decision.
Yes, sir. We'll keep our eyes peeled and see how things go. All right. You guys have a phenomenal Wednesday. We will see you in the morning for another session with my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. You guys have a phenomenal day. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. And like